Hai Nacho, dari Bedegani, Developer Associate Exam, Zigit. Captain, we are back to our preparation for Developer Associate Exam. I believe we are in do-it-yourself section, so let's see. Domain 1, practice. Okay, let me think summary on me. So it's we got API gateway, we got Lambda, the Lambda that creates, read, updates, and deletes, and we got DynamoDB to save. Oh, I can download.
Monday.com, the opposite of any work platform we tried in the past. We tried other work management platforms, not naming names.
Okay, welcome. My name is Jeremy Cook. I'm a content architect here at Cloud Academy, and it's my pleasure to present to you this latest set of webinars covering the AWS Certified Developer Associate Exam. So in today's webinar, I'll be covering domain 1, which is the deployment domain. It covers 22% of the exam. The following 3 webinars will cover off the remainder domains, those being domain 2, 3, and the last webinar in this series will cover off domains 4 and 5 of the exam. So as a quick introduction, I'm Jeremy Cook. I'm a content lead architect here at Cloud Academy. I specialise in all things DevOps. In a past life, I was a software engineer and built a lot of systems. I've got a lot of experience with DevOps, the various public clouds, AWS, GCP, Azure, and do a lot of training in Kubernetes as well. If you would like to reach out to me at any stage, by all means do. You can contact me either by my LinkedIn handle or the support@cloudacademy.com email address. Now, this is the certification landscape that AWS provides, and as mentioned, we're going to be covering domain 1 for the AWS Certified Developer Associate Exam. A couple of quick points about this exam. It's an associate level exam. The skill level required to pass this is intermediate in my view. The exam runs for 130 minutes. You have approximately 65 questions, plus or minus a couple of extra ones that they occasionally add in. The pass mark is 720 points out of 1,000. The cost is $150 US. It's valid for 3 years and there are no prerequisites. So if you want to jump straight into this exam, you can do so without having to have passed any pre.
Perfect. This is exactly how Domain 1 deployment is tested in the AWS Certified Developer Associate Exam. I'll do this in 3 clear layers, the same way AWS expects you to think. Hashed Part 1, Big Picture. What Domain 1 is really about. Domain 1 equals deployment, 22% of the exam. AWS is testing whether you can 1. Move code from a developer, production safely, 2. Automate builds, tests, and deployments. 3. Choose the right AWS service for each deployment step. 4. Deploy with minimal or zero downtime. Think of Domain 1 as answering this question. Open quote, if I push code today, how does it safely become a running application on AWS? Close quote. CI/CD concepts, exam foundation. AWS exam loves these definitions. 1. Continuous integration, CI. What it is, developers frequently commit small changes. Each commit builds the code, runs tests, produces an artifact. Key exam phrase, open quote, each commit triggers a build and test. Close quote, what CI does not do, does not deploy to production automatically. 2. Continuous delivery, CD. What it adds, everything CI does automatically prepares a production-ready release. Key rule, deployment to production is manual. Exam clue, open quote, requires manual approval before production deployment. Close quote. 3. Continuous deployment, what it adds, everything CI plus CD does. Automatically deploys to production when tests pass. Key exam phrase, open quote, no human intervention, close quote. Exam memory trick, term, production deployment, CI, no, continuous delivery, manual, continuous deployment, automatic. Part 3, AWS CI/CD services, core of Domain 1. AWS expects you to map each CI/CD step to a service. AWS code commit, source role, what it is, fully managed Git repository, AWS alternative to GitHub. Key features, Git-based, encrypted at rest, KMS, encrypted in transit, HTTPS SSH, highly available, built on S3, pull requests, branching authentication methods, exam favorite. 1. SSH keys. 2 HTS username password, 3 IAM access keys. Authorization, controlled via IAM policies, default policies, full access, power user, read-only. Triggers and notifications. Triggers, Lambda. Code build, notifications, SNS, email, exam trick. Open quote, need a private Git repo fully managed by AWS? Code commit, close quote. AWS code pipeline, orchestration. What it does, coordinates the entire CI/CD workflow. It does not build code, deploy code. It only orchestrates stages. Typical pipeline. You can see the code in our conversation history. Integrated services, code commit, code build, code deploy, CloudFormation, Lambda, ECS. Exam trick. Open quote, which service coordinates CI/CD stages? Love this approach. This is exactly how to make Domain 1 stick for the exam and real life. Let's turn everything you learned into a family plus household story you can replay in your head during the exam. AWS CI/CD deployment, family and household analogy. Imagine your house is a restaurant, home kitchen run by your family. Your goal, cook a meal, code, test it, serve it to guests, users, without making anyone sick or stopping service. The family roles. AWS concept, household role, developer, family cook, code, recipe, repository, recipe notebook, CI/CD, cooking routine, production, guests eating, downtime, hungry guests, continuous integration, everyone tastes before serving, story. Each family member adds a small change to the recipe. Every time someone writes something new, the dish is cooked, everyone tastes it, we make sure it doesn't burn or taste bad. Meaning every code commit, builds, runs tests, produces an artifact, no serving to guests yet. Exam trigger phrase, open quote, every commit is tested, close quote. Continuous delivery CD, meal is packed and ready, waiting for permission. Story, the food is fully cooked, packed in containers, sitting on the counter. Mom or dad must say, yes, serve it. Meaning, code is production ready, deployment to production is manual, continuous deployment. As soon as it's ready, it's served. Story, if food passes tasting, automatically served to guests, no approval needed, meaning fully automated production deployment. Memory trick, kitchen stage, AWS term. Taste test only, CI, packed and ready, continuous delivery. Served automatically, continuous deployment. Nash AWS code commit, family recipe book. Story, all recipes live in one family notebook. Everyone can. Write new recipes, make changes, review others' changes. Security, notebook is locked, encryption at rest, passed hand-to-hand securely, encryption in transit. Access, who can write, who can read. Controlled by house rules, IAM policies. Hack AWS code pipeline head chef coordinator. Story, one person says, you cook, you taste, you serve. Important, the head chef does not cook, does not taste, just coordinates, meaning code pipeline orchestrates stages, doesn't build or deploy itself. At AWS code build, the stove and oven. Story, the stove cooks the meal, follows instructions exactly, uses different appliances depending on the recipe, gas stove, oven, pressure cooker. Meaning, code build compiles, tests, produces artifacts, uses Docker containers. Hanger buildspec.yml, the cooking instructions. Story, recipe card taped on the fridge, tells what to prepare, what to cook, what to pack. Phases, phase, kitchen meaning, install, buy ingredients, pre-build, wash and cut, build, cook, post-build, plate and pack, rule must be in the root of the recipe book. Hack artifacts, packed meals, story, finished meals put into containers, stored in the fridge, meaning build output stored in S3, encrypted and reusable. AWS code deploy, food delivery service. Story, takes packed meals, delivers to family tables, party hall, catering events, meaning deploys apps to EC2, Lambda, ECS. Shack's appspec.yml, delivery instructions. Story delivery note, where to drop food, what to do before and after delivery. Rule must be in the root folder. Hack deployment strategies, very exam important. In-place deployment, EC2. Story, guests are seated, plates taken away, new food placed, guests wait downtime. Hack blue-green deployment, EC2, ECS. Story, 2 dining rooms, old room blue, new room green, guests slowly moved. Old room closed later, meaning 0 downtime. Load balancer controls traffic. Canary linear. Story, 1 table gets new food first. If they like it, more tables get it. Everyone eventually gets it. Meaning, Lambda aliases shift traffic, safe, gradual rollout. AWS CloudFormation building the house. Story. Blueprint to build kitchen, add stoves, place tables, meaning infrastructure as code. Hack Final Family Map. You can see the code in our conversation history. Quick family-style exam questions. Where are cooking instructions stored? Buildspec.yml. Who decides when cooking happens? Code pipeline. Who actually cooks? Code build. Who delivers the food? Code deploy. How do we avoid hungry guests? Blue, green, or canary? If you want next, one-page family cheat sheet, hard exam scenarios in family language. Compare Elastic Beanstalk versus CI/CD using this analogy. Domain 1 flashcards. Just tell me. All right, settle in. This is Domain 1. Deployment told as a sci-fi family adventure. Cinematic, visual, and unforgettable. No dry teaching. You'll see it happen. The House of Cloudhaven, a sci-fi family chronicle of deployment. Prologue. The floating house. High above the Earth, drifting in low orbit, floats House Cloudhaven. It looks like a home, but it's actually a living space station. The kitchen glows with holograms. The walls reconfigure themselves. The house upgrades itself without shutting down. Inside lives a family of code keepers. Their mission, open quote, release new creations to Earth without breaking reality, close quote. All right, settle in. This is Domain 1. Deployment told as a sci-fi family adventure. Cinematic, visual, and unforgettable. No dry teaching. You'll see it happen. The House of Cloudhaven, a sci-fi family chronicle of deployment. Prologue. The floating house. High above the Earth, drifting in low orbit, floats House Cloudhaven. It looks like a home, but it's actually a living space station. The kitchen glows with holograms. The walls reconfigure themselves. The house upgrades itself without shutting down. Inside lives a family of code keepers. Their mission, open quote, release new creations to Earth without breaking reality, close quote. If they fail, users experience downtime. Systems crash. Alarms scream. Hashed. The cast translated, character, role and story, AWS meaning breaking reality. The children, inventors, developers. The recipe, energy blueprint, code, the house AI, overseer, code pipeline, the kitchen reactor, matter compiler, code build, the archive vault, memory core, code commit, the launch bay, deployment gate, code deploy, the blueprint engine, constructor, CloudFormation, the guests on Earth, citizens, users. Hack Chapter 1, the archive commit. Deep beneath the house is a glowing vault. Inside floats a holographic book, constantly rewriting itself. This is the archive. Every time a child invents something, a hover shoe upgrade, a healing nanobot, a new AI lullaby, it gets recorded here. Security shields engaged. The archive is sealed by quantum encryption. Only family members with the correct access sigils can touch it. Some can read, some can write, some can only watch. Nothing is ever lost. Every version exists. Open quote, this is AWS code commit, close quote. Hack Chapter 2, the moment of commit begins. One night, the youngest child whispers, open quote, I improved the energy stabilizer, close quote. She taps the archive. Flash. Instantly, the house AI awakens. The reactor hums, test drones activate. This happens every single time a change is made. No exceptions. Chapter 3, the trial of integration. Continuous integration. Inside the kitchen reactor, atoms rearrange. Robotic arms assemble the invention, simulate stress, run failure scenarios. Holographic warnings flash. If it explodes, rejected. If it destabilizes, rejected. If it survives, approved. Nothing reaches Earth yet. The family watches. Open quote, does it compile? Do the tests pass? Close quote, when it does, a glowing crystal forms. Chapter 4, the artifact is born. The crystal is placed inside a stasis container, labeled, versioned, encrypted, stored safely in the cold vault. Open quote, this crystal is the artifact. Close quote, the invention is now built, tested, ready, but not launched. HAP Chapter 5, the waiting button, continuous delivery. The family stands before the launch bay, red lights pulse. The system speaks, open quote, artifact ready, awaiting human authorization. Close, the parents hesitate. What if Earth isn't ready? What if there's a solar storm? They choose when to launch. Nothing moves until then. Chapter 6, full autonomy, continuous deployment. On another mission, the family activates auto mode. Now the rules are different. If tests pass, safety checks pass, then immediate launch. No meetings, no approvals, no delays. The invention fires toward Earth the moment it's safe. Chapter 7, the kitchen reactor code build. The reactor is alive. Each recipe has a hollow scroll attached to it. This scroll is sacred. Shash the build spec scroll, buildspec.yml. It reads, 1. Install, gather materials from the supply nebula. 2. Pre-build, calibrate tools, warm the reactor. Thrilled. Fuse atoms, assemble matter. 4. Post-build, seal artifact, tag version. The scroll must be placed at the core of the invention. If it's missing, reactor failure. Chapter 8, the launch bay, code deploy. Once approved, the artifact is handed to the launch bay AI. It asks, open quote, where shall I deploy? Close quote, 3 destinations, orbital stations, EC2, persistent, always running, requires careful replacement. Energy pulses, lambda, instant, ephemeral, version by aliases. Android fleets, ECS, containerized units, swarm-based, traffic routed intelligently. Chapter 9, deployment strategies, the battle tactics. In-place deployment. The house shuts a room down, replaces everything, guests wait outside, risky, loud, fast, shash, blue, green deployment. 2 houses exist, old house, blue, new house, green. Guests are slowly guided to the new one. If something breaks, everyone returns safely. Canary deployment. 1 guest tries the invention first. If they survive, more guests follow. If not, launch aborted. Chapter 10, the blueprint engine. Before all this, the house itself had to be built. Every wall, every reactor, every launch pad, all defined in a living blueprint. Press a button. The house builds itself. Again, exactly, perfectly. Epilogue, Earth never noticed. The guests on Earth keep living. No downtime, no failures, no alarms. They never knew a deployment happened. That's success. Final memory seed. When the exam asks, where is code stored, the archive code commit, who coordinates everything? The house AI, code pipeline. Who builds? The reactor, code build. Where are instructions written? The scroll. Buildspec.yml. Who launches? The launch bay, code deploy. How do we avoid disasters? Blue, green, and canary. If you want next, I can. Turn this into comic panels. Create exam scenarios as story missions. Write hard exam questions as plot twists. Build a 1-page illustrated cheat sheet. Just say the word.
High above the swirling mist of the world below sat Cloudhaven, a house of glass. The house of Cloudhaven, a family adventure in the clouds. High above the swirling mist of the world below sat Cloudhaven, a house of glass and shifting light. It was more than a home. It was a sentient companion that breathed with the family who lived within its walls. The code keepers, Leora, Calum, and their teenager Sif, worked in harmony with the house to create wonders for the people of Earth. Today, they were beginning their most ambitious project yet, the Life Spark, a technology meant to purify the world's oceans. The journey began in the archive vault. This was the heart of Cloudhaven's memory, where every thought and design was safely stored. Leora led Sif into the shimmering hall. They held the first blueprints of the Life Spark, etched into glowing crystals. Every change we make is recorded here, Sif, Leora explained. If we ever lose our way, the vault remembers where we started. We never overwrite the past. We only build upon it. Once the blueprints were stored, it was time for the trial of integration. Caleb and Sif moved to the center of the house, where the air hummed with energy. Here, their new designs had to prove they could. The House of Cloudhaven, a family adventure in the clouds. High above the swirling mist of the world below sat Cloudhaven, a house of glass and shifting light. It was more than a home. It was a sentient companion that breathed with the family who lived within its walls. The code keepers, Leora, Calum, and their teenager Sif, worked in harmony with the house to create wonders for the people of Earth. Today, they were beginning their most ambitious project yet, the Life Spark, a technology meant to purify the world's oceans. The journey began in the archive vault. This was the heart of Cloudhaven's memory, where every thought and design was safely stored. Leora led Sif into the shimmering hall. They held the first blueprints of the Life Spark, etched into glowing crystals. Every change we make is recorded here, Sif, Leora explained. If we ever lose our way, the vault remembers where we started. We never overwrite the past. We only build upon it. Once the blueprints were stored, it was time for the trial of integration. Calum and Sif moved to the center of the house, where the air hummed with energy. Here, their new designs had to prove they could coexist with Cloudhaven's existing systems. We can't just add something new and hope for the best, Calum said. The trial checks for conflicts. If our new ideas break the old ones, the house will tell us immediately. The holographic gates flashed red for a moment, detecting a misalignment in the energy flow. Leora joined Calum at the monitors. Together, they adjusted the frequencies, smoothing out the contradictions between the old and the new. Slowly, the red glow faded, replaced by a steady rhythmic pulse of emerald green. The trial was passed. The new ideas were now one with the house. Next, they entered the kitchen reactor. This was where abstract ideas became physical reality. Calum guided Sif as they fed the validated blueprints into the great hearth. The reactor didn't cook food. It baked the raw data and energy into a solid, functional artifact. The air grew warm as the machine whirred, compiling the many layers of the Life Spark into a single, glowing core. Leora watched as Sif carefully extracted the finished artifact from the cooling chamber. It was a beautiful, humming sphere of light, ready to be sent to the world below. But the work wasn't finished. A tool is only good if it lands safely, Leora whispered. They moved toward the launch bay, the final stage of their journey, where the house prepared to deliver their gift to the Earth. The launch bay was a vast hangar with two distinct platforms, the blue platform and the green platform. Leora and Calum discussed the strategy. We never launch blindly, Calum noted. We use the blue/green method. We keep the old version running on the blue side while we prepare the new one on the green side. If the new one fails, We simply stay on blue. Sif watched as Calum initiated the switch. With a gentle hum, the power shifted from the blue platform to the green. It was a seamless transition. To the people on Earth, the service never flickered. The new LifeSpark was now live, and the old system stood by in silence, ready to take over again if even a single error was detected. To be extra careful, Leora suggested a canary release. She and Sif released a tiny mechanical bird, a probe, to carry a small portion of the LifeSpark's power to a single coastal village first. We watched the canary closely, Leora said. If the village flourishes and the sensors stay clear, only then will we release the full power to the rest of the world. The canary sang of success, and the blue/green switch remained steady. The LifeSpark began its work, and the oceans below started to shimmer with new clarity. Leora and Calum stood together on the balcony of Cloudhaven, watching the world change for the better. Their process was disciplined, and their house was wise, ensuring that every leap of progress was as safe as it was wondrous.
All right, I'm gonna end it here. See you tomorrow.